Welcome to part 7 of the web development course. Today we're going to be learning about the chakras built-in theme. Allows you to use colors throughout your whole project, and actually has built-in dark mode and light mode code, so you don't have to worry about that and stuff like that. But basically, if we go over to the styles folder and head over to the theme, this theme, if we open this up in chakras docs, type in theme, you'll see that we have the default theme. So we have extend theme, and we create our own theme. Okay, and then what we can do is we can set actual brand colors or whatever type of variable colors you want, and also the global styles like the HTML. This is every single body tag, every A tag, UL tag, all the scroll bar stuff. That's all set to that area. So if we actually want to set, for example, if we run the terminal, type in npm run dev, wait for the product to open up. Should be on localhost 3000. There you go. So while that loads up, basically these variable colors you can use throughout your project without having to actually type this color every single time. So for example, if you want to change the color, it would change out through your whole site instead of going one by one and changing each one. So if we go over here, you'll see that in the index we actually I think, no, we don't use it here, but in the header you'll see that the the colors that we chose inside of the theme.tsx can be used inside of index. So I'm going to remove all this code for requesting APIs. I'm going to remove Axios, and I'm also going to remove all this basic style so we can get to just a super basic just blank page. So it should show up now in a second, and we can do that. I'm going to import box, also going to import text, and we should have those. They'll be unused, but we'll be able to use them once this page loads. Okay, so now that the page loads, you'll see that the header component is actually being used, and the reason why you'll see that there's no header code here is this app.tsx is what is going to be rendered. Okay, so you'll see that we have the, instead of the render or return for this function, you'll see that there's a header component, and then there's the actual page component, and then there's the footer. So right now these are imported from header and footer. And if we go to footer, right now there's no code for it, so I'm just going to delete it. Go back to the app.tsx, make sure that we don't import it anymore. And we don't need it because it's not going to do anything. But if you go and way back to the website, you'll see that the header is there. So if I comment this code out, the header will be gone and it will just be a blank background. And that's because inside of the theme.tsx, we set the body's background color to brand.secondary. And brand.secondary is right here. You'll see brand is an object, and to access the key value inside of an object, you'll just use the dot syntax. So brand.secondary will access this value. If we do brand.primary, you'll see that the page will load into a brighter blue. So inside of the index, you can use this the exact same way. I'm going to return back the header in there, go over to the HDAC, and let's make a box. Let's give it a box size of 400 pixels, and then a background color of red. so we can see the box on the screen. There you go. You'll see the box in the top left. I'm actually going to use the center here because I don't need the HTAC for now, just so it'll be in the center of the screen. Okay, so we have the box in the center. If we now, let's make some text. Hello world. And we have some text inside of the red box. Okay, so I'm going to actually make this a center as well, just so the thing is in the center of the screen. So right now we have a what's called hard-coded value here. So if we, I don't know, give it a hex value of FFF, you'll see white. And we'll have a box as white. And then what we can do is, just because like that theme value, we can use the brand object inside of the colors. So we can set the brand object dot primary, and we can access this color. You'll see now that the thing is this blue. So if we change this to red, you'll see that that also changes. And the same if we actually add a different value. So this brand is an object. So if we wanted to overwrite the built-in color codes, let's just say, I don't know, pastel, even though I don't think that's how you spell it, but we'll give it value of this, whatever that color is. So that's purplish. So if we actually just use pastel inside of the background here, it will be that purple type of color there. And the same goes with any type of color that you put inside this colors object. This can be used anywhere in your code, because Chakra, when it compiles, will look for these keywords and replace them inside of the HTML. So if you go to inspect, head over this, you'll see that the class is actually is using the background. You'll see var chakra colors pastel, and this is a CSS variable, so it holds the actual color for this. Chakra has built-in color like things, so if you'll see, if we just type red, it's going to be red. But if there's red dot 100, which is like a very light red, almost white, red dot 200, and there's all types of shades of red. Red dot 400, and I think it goes all the way up to 900. So we go to 900. You'll see that that's the dark red, and I don't know about 1000, but I don't think there is. Yep, so there's no 1000. If we go over to red dot 900, you'll see that there's all types of shades of red, and you can overwrite it. That's the default theme that Chakra provides. So if we go over to their documentation, type theme, and you can do default color scheme. If we scroll down over to, I think it's right here. Okay, so yeah, so if we actually go to the theme right here, you'll see all the types of colors. You'll see black and white, gray 50, gray 100, gray 200, all that. You have the same with the red, and all the basic colors: yellow, green, teal, blue, cyan, purple, pink. And there's also typographies. So for font sizes, you can type XS for this rem, which is basically a relative unit based on the size of the font. There's all types of default themings that they have. We have breakpoints, which is what we were using for mobile optimization, and we also have spacing, which uses 0.5 or whatever. We have like, I don't know, like 5 or 1.25 rem. And you'll see the different types of basic like things. So that's pretty much it for Chakra's theming. This is a pretty short lesson. It was just to explain a little bit more about theme. We have to touch up on one more topic, which is chakra's built-in dark mode, light mode. So I think it's color mode right here. Go to color mode. You'll see that we are going to want to use a config. So inside of our code, go to the theme. Just like this, we're going to want to type config after the styles. Type config. Make this an object. And then we can just color these in. And you'll see initial color mode light, use system color mode false. So system color mode is like whatever your settings is on Windows. So for example, on Windows, you can go to color settings here, and you'll see that for me, my color mode is dark by default. So if we want to use whatever their system mode is, you can see we can turn this to true, which I do want to use it. And then we can set the initial color mode to whatever. So right now we'll do false, so we can keep it at light mode. And go back to head over to so we are using Next.js, right? So we're going to follow exactly what their documentation says, which says go to the underscore document file, which is right here, and we're going to copy this line of code. We're going to go to color mode script and put this right above the main, and we're also going to want to import theme and import color mode script. So color mode script here, and then inside of here I can do @styles / theme, and that should import. If this doesn't, oh, there you go. Yeah, so go to @styles theme, and you'll see that we are going to use the initial color mode, which is thing. So right now, if we actually go back to the website, you'll see that we don't actually have any change in color, and that's because we're not actually giving it any type of value. So to use a what's called, I don't like, you can see that we have like a toggle dark, toggle light, and it's just a little button that activates the use color mode hook. And what we can do is we can actually use the use color mode hook value that Chakra provides. So inside our index, for example, I don't know, maybe this is like too like bright on white screen. So inside here we can import the use color mode value function, and we can do let's say, I don't know, background. We'll call it background, and it'll be use color mode value. So here I think it's just we pass in light mode value, which is, so whenever it's in light mode, we want the background to be, let's just call it white and black for now, just so it's easy to distinguish. And then what we do now is, instead of setting the background to red.100, we set the background to the background variable that we created here. So now, for example, right now the initial color mode is white. So if we go to the theme, go to config, set this to dark, you'll see that the color does actually change into black. And there you go. So you can see we have a dark mode, light mode. And if we want to toggle between them, just like the Chakra variable has, we can have a button. So inside of the, I don't know, header, let's have a button that is right next to the links. I'm going to make import the button from the Chakra button class, and in here we'll have toggle light, and any component that you use from Chakra's library automatically has light and dark mode themes. So if we have the toggle light thing, and whenever we click on the button, we're going to want to use the toggle color mode value. So in here we can cast that, import it from chakra, pass in the toggle color mode function here, and color mode is the value. So color mode is going to be a string, and it depends on whether it's light or dark. So in here, instead of this light thing, so right now if we go to our page and click on toggle light, you'll see that it does toggle to dark or light, but the text is not changing. It always says light or dark mode. Okay, so what I wanted to do is, instead of doing that, I wanted to have this as a variable, and we're going to use a ternary operator. So what we do is we check, is color mode set to light, and if it is, we'll say toggle dark, and if it's not, we'll say toggle light. So right here, you'll see now we have toggle light, and then now we're in light mode, so it says toggle dark. So light, dark, blah, 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 and you can do a bunch of different things. These are just return statements that get placed as the value. So again, we're checking, is color mode equal to light? If it is, we want to say toggle dark. If it's not, we say toggle light. But that's pretty much it. You guys should go mess around with getting a whole page to just change, like the background color, the text, the font color, all that type of stuff. And next video will be learning about deploying our code on GitHub and using Versal, which is a free platform, to actually host the website and use a domain and stuff so other people can access it other than just local machine. But I will see you then.